My name is Dennis Martin. I'm a senior here at Caldwell University. I am double majoring in social studies and elementary education while also pursuing a special education certification. My involvement here on campus is in LASO, which is the Latin American Student Organization, while also being a member of the Educational Opportunity Fund program here. My cohort is for the summer of 2017, so I'll be graduating this spring, so that's exciting. I was born and raised in Newark, New Jersey. I went to high school here in West Caldwell Tech. It's a vocational school. How I ended up coming to Caldwell was kind of serendipitous because I ended up taking a public bus a few times to school when there were times when I didn't get picked up from my own home, and I just would see the university on the avenue and I'm thinking, oh, that looks like an interesting school just based off of the logo alone. And I ended up applying there, end up realizing that I got accepted when it came to an acceptance students day. Came across an EOF counselor and recruiter who was able to show me how I was eligible for the program. And then after many times of applying and interviewing, I eventually landed my spot here at Caldwell's EOF program and just being a student here. So when I came to Caldwell, ended up finding out that it's a really short school, has a really good education program, and I really felt like I already was starting to find people who I could rely on to help me in my career path. That's what ended up leading me also to my decision to be a Caldwell student. So when I was in the EOF program during the summer of 2017, I did the 5-week program. I was elected to be a class representative amongst my colleagues and the other students that were a part of the program. And then my involvement in EOF was more so just having a moral obligation. Like, our motto is like family, it works. So I already kind of came into the university and coming into my semesters already knowing that if there were people that I could help and there were people that I could make feel more included in the EOF program as the family that we like to portray ourselves, then that was already my moral obligation as just being an EOF student while also just being a community member here at Caldwell, because that's what I felt like it did for me. It really do felt like I made a strong bond with a lot of people here and a great networking system with people. So EOF kind of just laid the foundations of like kind of how to approach this community and how to carry responsibility and accountability for the people who are also along with me on this road and this career path. So most of my time at Caldwell is because of EOF and just me figuring out who can I make someone's day by holding a door for them and asking them how their day is. Who can I make their day by pointing them in the right direction of where they need help, and who can I refer to them here at Caldwell that can really give them the guidance that they need. That's kind of the obligation that I felt like everyone at EOF has kind of instilled in me. So one of my most meaningful academic experiences here at Caldwell was last spring semester, spring of 2019. I participated in a week-long study abroad program. It was for Vienna, Austria, and it was an art history combined class. And I had two of some of the best professors I've had here, which are Dr. Noonan and Dr. Lammers. Them together, I feel like, was such a dynamic duo because of how really intellectual they are in their fields. And then having them as also like travel guides and assistants during being in Europe for the first time. I'm someone, by the way, who I come from a low socioeconomic class of people in Newark, and I didn't think that I would ever study abroad. And then when I came across this opportunity, that was one of those experiences where I literally felt the miracle of God, and I'm just like, thank you, because I never get to do this ever. So I was able to go to Europe for a week. I had a really amazing time, not just with having the professors there, teaching me both here and there, but also I felt like I had a great bunch of students who were along with me who made it a really fun experience. Especially one of my favorite experiences was actually going to the Art History Museum of Vienna and kind of learning about Gustav Klimt and learning about all of these modern artists that we were learning about here in the classroom, dark, really late at night, and now we're in the museum in which their art is being held. So it felt like a very surreal experience, and I will treasure that moment always. So one of my most meaningful social experiences here at Caldwell was my first day of RCIA, which is the Rite of Christian Initiation. And I was basically deciding that I wanted to pursue my faith journey more because I was very lost before joining this program to decide like what did I want to believe in and what did I want to instill in me in terms of foundations in faith. So it ended up just being a first day, very vague discussion about what do we think of when we think of God, Catholicism, and what made us step foot through that door to decide to start this journey. And it was very emotional for me because I did come from a place where something happened in my life that completely shook up my faith, and I didn't know what to do after for many years. So now that I felt like I've become more mature and educated in which not just about faith, but in terms of mental health and learning how to approach my issues in a way where I can be able to reflect on them well and really feel like I am moving forward, RCIA would just reminded me of everything that I had accomplished up until that point that allowed me to get there, and then only realize how many steps further I can take. August 23rd was the date of my communion and confirmation. I was baptized when I was 1, and then nothing really happened after that. I was just someone who grew up culturally in a predominantly Catholic household. But other than that, I wasn't really instilled a lot of foundations in spirituality and learning about what it meant to be a Catholic in the society that we live in today. So it really took me until we came to Caldwell and I started really idolizing some people here in terms of who I felt like their characters was something that I wanted to emulate. Like, for example, Dr. Andre St. Felix here, who's the EOF director at Caldwell. Also, Professor Dr. Mulaney, who's my favorite history professor here, and she's just someone who is very passionate about everything she does. And these were two people that I really admired in the way that they were so passionate and yet so representative of who they were in almost every aspect that I enjoyed about them. Like, as the professor, as their humane aspects in terms of them being someone in part of the community. So those people were the people who actually led me to that door at RCIA and really helped me realize that that was something that I wanted. I am a boy who comes from a one working parent household, many siblings. The evolution of where I am today is very extravagant in terms of being someone who grew up on the avenue, living near bodegas, having not the most glamorous things and the most glamorous clothes ever, to now being somewhere where I could say, yeah, I went to Europe for a week. I went to a private institution for 4 years and I was fully covered. And I cannot say that if I didn't thank all of you who really made this dream for a boy like me who didn't know that he would be sitting here today, to thank you and really pay my gratitude towards all of the efforts that you make for students like me here at Caldwell.